only a couple words, but
Couple of words? Okay. Давай.
На русском.
На русском.
Now Rush. Listen you.
Yeah, no problem. We can
Why not?
whatever.
1-1.
No problem at all.
I'm talking about like how the culture is important. Culture is like in root. It's like a root, and when you are connected with your roots, the tree can grow and bloom. So small things in the Bharatiya culture, they have been tested by many of sadhus, by many of rishis, and after that they was implemented in the society. Rishi was like a scientist. If you will see their work, like Vagbhat was born like 3,500 years ago, something around that, and he was the student of Maharishi Charak. Maharishi Charak was the creator, not a creator, founder of Ayurveda. Better to say like that, because English has some limitations. So he was a founder of Ayurveda, and he wrote 7,000 sutras, means 7,000 rules. And Vagbhat, his student, he made experiment on every rule 50 times. Like each sutra, he used 50 times. He made experiment and rewrote about this. So he lived 135 years, and he made a huge work in his life because he started his work by the age of 12. From this time he started, and 135 he lived absolutely healthy. He was the first person to say that the food is ahar hi aushadhiya. The food itself is the medicine. This German guy, what his name, I forgot, like who wrote a book of Return to Nature. He said in 1800 century something, not even 1905 he said that food is a medicine. And now in modern education they are teaching only his name. Vagbhat name is not there. But when I was giving my exam of Ayurveda, so I wrote that okay, the real answer is the Vagbhat, because he told 3,500 years ago in this and this book on such and such verse. But the modern people doesn't know about that. Then I wrote the name of that author that he said in 1905 in this book. But it is not a truth. So pata nahi kya hua, then that's not my issue. The thing is, like, long before the West has found something precious, the East has found everything which could be discovered. If you will see all the Jyotish, they know how much time a Jupiter takes to move one circle around the sun. How many years before? 4,000 years before the modern science found that the solar system is there. In which year they found this Earth is gold? 1608 something. In 1608 there was a scientist somewhere in Rome, and he found that Earth is round. So they burnt him, Galileo. So they burnt him because they didn't believe that Earth is round, Earth is flat. But Bhugol is how many years old? Bhugol. Bhu means earth, Gol means round. It's the word itself is 8,000 years old. So I'm not trying to say that East is better and West is. The thing is, like, whichever is useful for us, we have to take care of it. We have to preserve it. And East has found these things, so that's why it's very important for us to understand the roots. If you don't understand something, like we do yagya. Why we do yagya? If you don't understand, you can ask a question to somebody who understands and who has made research on it. So you get a broader aspect to understand it scientifically. Because nothing is a false belief in a Bharatiya culture. Nothing. Even a cat crosses the way. This is also a scientific. This is also scientific thing. You will say how? मुझे ही बोलना पड़ता है. See, in Bharat there is a belief that if a cat passes your way, then stop for some period, don't continue your journey, stop for some period and then move.
in
There
Russian
was-
also say.
In
Russian same. Same
because it's
culture.
not we are like that. Every world in every part of the world they have this. So there should
Especially-
be some truth, no?
Yeah, especially black cat.
Black cat, yeah.
Black,
In
yeah.
India
It
also.
was only for black cat. It was not for white cats and other cats. But after people forgot the black and they started to connect with everybody. There was a scientist who was born in Russia, Pavlov. Maybe you might have heard about him. He checked the energy level of every creature, like whoever, dogs and humans and cats and rat and snakes. He was testing the energy level, what kind of energy they are having, what kind of aura they are having. He found that the cat energy is such intense that if you are not having some connection with cats, you will lose your brain. You will lose the sensitivity of your brain. Analyzation power you will lose. Especially black cat. Why? Because black is color of Saturn. And Saturn is always very strict on the rules like this. So this belief was also not baseless. Okay, he found in something like 19th century about all this research, but the rishis in Bharat, they found long time ago. Why people did not had a cat in houses in Bharat? Like when you go almost everywhere they have dogs at house, but nobody has cat. Cat is a animal of Rahu. And Rahu, if he is bad in your horoscope, he will disturb your life. He will make everything ups and downs. So they made Rahu to stay out from your house. We never invite Rahu and Shani inside the house. So that's why whenever a crow comes in ancient time, if you was a kid, you might have noticed that whenever crow comes and start to bark, they say, run away, run away. And they say, maybe somebody will come today, like because the crow has come and start barking. So they don't want this energy more in your life. Why? Because this is very sharp energy. It's not good and bad. It's just sharp. The intensity of your thoughts will increase when you will have Rahu energy or Saturn energy. And cat is having Saturn energy, Rahu energy. But black cat is having Saturn energy and Rahu energy together. So she becomes really intense. And if you have noticed a black cat, she's always mysterious. If you have noticed a black cat and if you lived around the black cat, she easily will not come to you. She will not easily allow you to have connection with her. She takes a lot of time. Sometimes she takes even more than 6 months for you to have a connection with her. Sometimes can be less or more according to the people. Why? Because its energy is so much intense. And in Vedic system, they all followed it because they wanted to keep this energy out. But in Tantric system, we have in Bharat different kind of systems. In Tantric system, they always had cat. Because you need to intensify the process. So when you was making some chanting, when you was making some ritual, the cat was helping. There is 123 tantric prayogas which is based only on the black cat. 123 only on the black cat. There is more than 130 prayogas which is based only on the people tree. So these things was very important. Like if you find a people tree in a forest, here in Goa is very rare. Only in the city or in temple areas you can find, but in forest it's very rare. I didn't see, I tried a lot. Only banyans are more here. If you find it's on the forest, this is like a treasure for tantrics. They can do millions of prayogas over there. And tantra is not only bad or good. It is something where you are playing with different dimensional species. When you can play not only with your dimension, when you can play with the different dimension where ghost lives. There is a different dimension where ghost lives. There is a different dimension where demigods lives. There is a different dimension where Gandharvas lives. There is a different dimension where God lives, like Shiva. And there is a different dimension where Nirakar Parbrahm lives, like Almighty God lives. So these are different dimensions where they live. And how to connect yourself with this different dimension, that is all about Tantra.